From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big night of evenings LALATE as your fourth stimulus check heats up in a way that's so exciting, no one saw this coming. It's incredible great news, and guess what? We're almost at the finish line. The two-month, two-step process has started, and away we go for fourth stimulus, the monthly stimulus check you get in your bank account starting the month of July. They just need to get it done and finished, and in this recording, we'll go over the two incredible great details that happened this last week from the president, one not majorly covered and one slightly covered on Friday. But what will be coming next week that'll make the push as well? The Consumer Price Index number comes next week, corporate earnings from major corporations, and those will all signal the push to get it to the finish line. In this recording, we go over the big money of the fourth stimulus check and the fourth stimulus package, how you're going to get it and when you're going to get it. Let's get to it. This is a major recording on a Sunday night of Evenings LALATE. This is Evenings LALATE with the big updates for your fourth stimulus check of 2021 today. I'm really excited for you with the breaking news across the board, and I'm going to be going over all in this video, and the big money landing in your bank account next week. Some of it automatic, some of you have to apply for. It's incredible great news. Get that pen and paper ready because there's a lot of information. Stay to the end. This is a mother of a video on Mother's Day. Hope you had a beautiful Mother's Day. If you're still celebrating it, well, thank you for joining me as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel, now expanding into cryptocurrency with new shows across the board, taped and live, and now a new overnight show that shows a chart of a major event like a crypto or a security that you need to watch and join into the live chat. I'm not on air, but at least you can join in and enjoy and sit back. It could go on for hours, and it may do that tonight. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's get to the details right off the board. The President of the United States this last week had one single sentence that was so critical that signaled that fourth stimulus will get done and has already started reconciliation process, and that word was 25%. That word came as one remaining issue for complete agreement among the Democratic caucus remained a question, the corporate tax rate. The president had proposed for the fourth stimulus package a corporate tax rate of 28%, higher than the current corporate tax rate of 21%. Some Democrats thought that 21% currently where we are now is too low, but that 28% as proposed for the fourth stimulus by the president was too high. And finally, the president made the concession, suggesting he is done. We are done. Away we go. 25%. He said, I'll do 25 to 28, and we are done. This was the biggest news statement for purposes of fourth stimulus last week, but it got buried because there was so much else happening across the board. It's incredible great news. It shows complete alliance for the Democratic caucus for reconciliation, two-bill, two-month, two-step process. The reconciliation process has started. Subcommittees have already started working on the bill. It's a two-bill, two-month, two-step process, and they're not going to show you their final result until the final vote. As AOC once said, when they have a bill, they sort of just give it to you and give you 10 minutes to vote on it. These are congressional leaders. That's how they do it. But guess what? We've already had some of the details, so we're going to go over them as a family right now. So AOC, if you're listening, here are the details for you starting right now. The House plan is slightly different than the Senate plan, and the House plan pays more checks, just smaller amounts, over a longer period of time. So let's compare the House plan versus the Senate plan. The House plan would provide a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate plan would provide a stimulus check to the end of July. And while the House plan provides more stimulus checks, the Senate plan provides bigger stimulus checks. House plan would provide the second month of checks, and thereafter would be $1,000. Senate plan, however, the amount is unknown, but word on the street would be this. Oh boy, yes. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Which do you prefer? If you're in the live chat right now and you're watching on the East Coast, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock on the West Coast, jump in the live chat. Senate or House? And if you're watching this taped, post a comment. Senate or House, which one you prefer? The Senate plan gives you a bigger cash infusion over a shorter period of time, but the House plan gives you more money slower over a longer duration of time. Who gets this and how does it get it and how does it work? Let's go over all the details. The concept of the House plan, as I go out of focus, the concept of the House plan versus the Senate plan is that the House members want to keep you on benefits for a longer duration, whereas the senators want to fix the situation faster. Most viewers have generally preferred the Senate plan. Who gets this? You do. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you do. If you got the third stimulus check, you do. Make less than $75,000, you do. $150,000 or less, married couple, you do. Double the amount of check. Family of 4, you do. Quadruple the check. Easy breezy. 2-month, 2-step process. They've already started. They're already in the subcommittees. They don't roll out pom-poms and dancing twirler baton and marching bands to announce they're starting it. They started, and when they're done, they vote. When's that vote? They represented. Their vote will be July 4th. These are their representations. House and Senate, done, done, done. Is this income? Not income. Is it taxable? Not taxable. When would you get the first check? In the month of July? For the month of July. For the month of August? For the month of August. That's what they're proposing. They write the bill, not the president. He wants infrastructure, climate. They have the stimulus checks. And away we go. Done. Very, very easy, breezy, done. Now, the President of the United States on Friday afternoon said not once, not twice, but in 3 major press conferences, what happened with the Friday jobs number, an economic number released by the federal government for the Department of Labor, it was so bad, the president said, we have to pass the 4th stimulus right now. What I've said to you over the weekend is that I'm not going to go into a lot of analysis of the number because the president's statement about economically about why the number was what it was is incorrect information. Rather, his pep chat statement is what's news. His pep chat statement to his Democratic caucus, not the Republicans, they're not listening, is to get it done. Get it done right now. I am your leader. I'm the head of the Democratic Party. Get it done right now. This number is no good. Which now clears the universe of those 3 concerns that we were worried about. 1, jobs being restored before the stimulus checks go out. Eliminated. That's not currently a concern anymore. Number 2, full economic recovery of this economy before the stimulus checks go out. Not happening, folks. Not happening. And finally, anything else that would cause divisiveness among Democrats. The corporate rate. Done. This is looking really good. All you have to do is name me after a rocket and put me to the moon. Oh, no, that's Dogecoin. So anyway, we are doing really good with that. That is the 4th stimulus package. That is July out the door and out the door they so represent. Now, here is what you need to know is that 5th stimulus is also around the corner. But rather than leave it for the second half of this recording, I'm going to bring it to the first half of the recording. The first half of the recording, I'm going to go with the 5th stimulus right now, and I'm going to go over why it mirrors 4th stimulus. 5th stimulus is an add-on from the Democratic leadership in the Congress. And what did the president say Friday? Same statement, same press conferences, same 3 times. The jobs number Friday, it's bad. Do 5th stimulus as well. Done. Done. He is speaking again to the Democratic leadership. September comes, and there we go. We start with another reconciliation process. There is enough reconciliations. I'm not going to do that video here because that is almost 30 minutes of why there's so many reconciliations. But Chuck Schumer won a recon, had some saved up. He gets a new one in the fall. There's enough recons. So 2 bills, 2 months, 2 processes. Yes. And there you go. That 5th stimulus would heat up in the fall. Now, 5th stimulus is great for you if you're a single individual. Hazard pay, if you're also a senior citizen, great for you. There's a lot of money for single people and for seniors in the 5th stimulus. That's covered later in this recording. I told you some other recordings, so stay to the very end. But the push from the person with the biggest megaphone in the Democratic leadership, the President of the United States, head of the Democratic Party, said, get it done. And away we go. Very exciting, good news. So here's what you also need to know is that between now, which is May, as I go out of focus again, what's going on here? Now, as we're in the month of May, as we're celebrating Mother's Day, and all the way up to the month, all the way up to July, is there other money available for you? You bet there is money for you. There is a mother of money for you between now and July. And in this recording, I'm going to go over all that money for you and explain to you how you get it. And guess what? There's not one viewer that I am aware of who is tuning into this video who is not entitled to any of this money that is coming out or available. I can't identify anyone that doesn't qualify for a single penny because guess what? There's a lot of different money items. The first one is the most comprehensive and over-encompassing item. And is the item that I told you would pay the most number of people in this channel and the most amount of money when we were back in January. And guess what? It went live yesterday. It went live last week. It's going live this coming week. And it's going live the week after that. And what is that? It is the rent, the utilities, and the nutrition and the food. It is the SNAP. And boy, I'm really excited for you because guess what? It's $5,000 to $25,000. It's just, I sit here and I say to myself, why would any viewer who qualifies for SNAP not get SNAP? Why would any viewer who qualifies for rent, utilities, not get it when you qualify for it? Because, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Here's what you need to know, is that ultimately, you've been with me for a while, potentially, and some of these monies you've seen come out time after time again from this administration and from the prior administration. I need you to look at me and understand right now, they're not coming back anymore. There's no indication that rent, utilities, homeowners assistance, mortgage eviction moratorium are ever coming back ever again. So I want you to get this money. This is the last hurrah. It has been 1, 2, 3 times it's been available. And so far, we see no indication it's going to be in the fourth stimulus. So get it now. As we talked about, stimulus stampede, Purple Hawks, pounce for that money before anyone else because it's not coming back. Now, for purposes of SNAP, its increase is 15%. So it's just from now to December, get it as well. Let's go over all that money. The rent, where's available? 6 places. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Go reach out and get that money because it's landing across the country this week, last week, and next week. Then ask for utility assistance as well. Mortgage assistance and homeowners utility assistance. Incredible, great news. Then for SNAP, reach out to Department of Agriculture. It's money for your food. And it's an insane amount of money if you have a large family and you live in a urban center. If you live in Hawaii, family of 4, you're getting $16,000 a year approximately. It's just so much money. And what I tried to show you over this channel, and you see with expanding coverage, trying to make you money, trying to get you better, get you forward, moving forward this year. You're not going to sit back and wait for a check to show up in the mail that's a stimulus check. No, you are going to get this SNAP if you qualify for it, for guess what? Because it alleviates all the other financial bills you have in the house, because it alleviates some of the other financial bills in the house because now you have money to pay for food, and that money that you would have paid for food, you can now spend on something else. That's how we do it. And guess what? I'll have more about that just after the commercial break and more about it in the commercial break with the community page. You can reach that community page. It's in the pinned comment to this video. And in the description, it's news.lalate.com/community. But what I also want to go over is the other money that's available for you. And guess what? This money is incredible, great amounts of money for you to get. Let's go over each one. Get that pen and paper ready right now. Let's go over each of them because there's a lot. I don't want you to miss any of them. First, if you have taken out for federal taxes when you received your unemployment benefits in 2020, you need to go to a tax preparer this week immediately and tell them I need to file a tax return to recoup back the money I took out for federal taxes when receiving my unemployment benefits. For example, if every week you got $400 of unemployment benefits, but took out $65 for federal taxes, you need to get that money back by filing a tax return. That's big money, and you need to get it right now because guess what? That tax return is due in just a few days. Second, if you have a child and that child is 17 years of, or younger, and you have done something different than normal with tax returns, you need to get that tax return on file because it's going to be $3,600 a child or $3,000 a child. It's a lot of darn money. All the money starts in the month of July, but the time frame to be teed up to get the money, the application-ish of the process ends in just a few days. What's at issue? IRS pays the money based upon a 2020 tax return that needs to be on file. And if they don't see that tax return on file, they don't see a 2019 tax return on file, they're not going to pay the money. $300 a month starting the month of July if that child is 5 to newborn, and $250 a month starting the month of July for 1 year if the child is 17 to 6. 3 groups of people categorically need to go to that tax preparer right away to prepare that 2020 tax return listing that child. Group number 1, never file a tax return and have a child, you're not going to get paid a penny. You need to get that tax return on file to get that money for that child or children if you have multiple children. Group number 2, if you do file tax returns, but you're not listing that child or the child is newborn, born in the last year, born since the last tax return, you need to get that tax return on file. And group number 3, if you have somehow suddenly had some change in your life that suggests that IRS doesn't know that change, you need to get the tax return on file. The most common example is someone who made more than $100,000 in 2019 and would not be eligible for this money because IRS is going to look at the most recent tax return, but in 2020 took a bath and made only $10,000 in income. Now you're eligible for the money. Get that 2020 tax return on file to get that money. This is how I want you to understand that money is available for you right now, and the eligibility window is really right in front of us. For business owners, shut-in venue grant available at sba.gov. Go apply. The EIDL grant not going live. The EIDL remainder of the $10,000 not being paid. The venue restaurant grant now live at SBA, and the PPP grant not live. So you see, business owners are not particularly being taken care of well by this administration. So if you're a business owner, you're listening, and it's like, where is that money? Then you may have to maneuver over to some of these other items like rent and utilities and food if you qualify and get that money. Remember, if you qualify for multiple items, get all the items. Get as many items as you qualify. If you qualify for rent, don't stop and not go get SNAP. If you got SNAP, and also have a child, don't stop and not get the money for the child. You could literally get item after item after item on this channel if you're eligible for them. Remember, this is one of the most important things I have to say to you, and I'm saying with a lot of hard, tough love. If you're a person who does not have to file a tax return because you don't make enough money, that is not an excuse for you not to file a tax return to request this money, because this is what's going to happen. IRS has made emphatically clear, you do not have to file a tax return, but we're not going to give you the money. So if you don't want the money, don't file a tax return. If you do want the money, you must file a tax return. That is how it's happening. Finally, if you're missing a first, a second, or third stimulus check, or one of your household members is missing a stimulus check, you need to do that as well on the tax return. That's why I said get a pen and paper at the top of this recording, because I said I have a lot of stuff to tell you in this recording to ensure that you don't miss anything you need to tell the tax preparer. And guess what? I'm back in 60 seconds with more about the other money that's coming to you. And it's a lot, and I'm very excited. Stay with me to the end. There's more coming up here on Evenings LA. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Evenings LA. I'm so glad you joined me in this mother of recording for Mother's Day. Hope you're having a beautiful day. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because this channel is expanding its programming coverage. And tonight, after this show, you're going to see brand new shows. So I don't want you to miss a single minute of programming. Let's get to 400,000 subscribers. 1 year old, and boy, you're seeing a lot of new stuff coming onto this channel. Also, like this video. All your favorite programs are still there, but I'm adding more stuff to the shows. So make sure you like. Let's do 2,000-3,000 likes. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. Meantime, if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member because there's a lot of stuff in the fifth stimulus, and there's not enough time to in a single recording to detail everything that's in the fifth stimulus package. Let's get to that fifth stimulus package. Great news as we went into Friday, as the president said, get it done. Get it done. The jobs number was bad. Get the fifth stimulus package done. So you heard early in this recording that it has reform. Let's go over that reform right now and what are the details. First, they would increase your benefits. They would remove the asset limit at inflationary benchmark. Then remove the income exclusion and then remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over all those details and what they mean right now. First, in essence, let's make this very clear. Between four stimulus with those monthly stimulus checks and this one with SSI reform, increasing your benefits, tying it to a new benchmark, you're getting the entire universe of SS200 covered for you over these two items with actually more money than anyone would have anticipated. Remember, for stimulus check, we'll pay the same stimulus check to people on SSI. We'll pay you a lot more than $2,400. You're gonna look, we just saw the numbers at the top of the recording, $12,000 potentially. So it's a lot more money. Same amount for adult dependents, same amount for minor dependents. But let's get to these items. First, they're going to raise up everyone's benefits. That means if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, all of you will have a big new number. Then they're going to tie you to a new benchmark. That new benchmark will be inflation, not COLA. Inflation will go up 2 to 4% over the next few years, and so your benefits will go up as well. They're getting better across the board. They're removing the asset cap, which you need to have removed, especially getting those stimulus checks. $3,000 a month if you're a single individual. Excuse me, $3,000 total if you're a single individual. They're going to get rid of that asset cap. It's a 1980s law going away. Then they're going to remove the income cap, a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits, going away. So if you want to work, you can go work. Easy breezy, understandable news. And then they're going to add a provision that would eliminate the marriage penalty. So if you're suffering from the marriage penalty, going away. And if you're facing the marriage penalty, going away. When is this going to happen? Fifth stimulus. 2 bills, 2 months, 2 steps, starting in the month of September and finishing about 2 months after that, which means you would see the impact in your pocketbook around by November. Now, what's coming up next week is the CPI will be released by the Department of Labor. And the CPI is the Consumer Price Index, and it'll show how a lot of economics at issue are still unpredictable. CPI, PPI. You saw earlier in this recording, I said the economy's not rebounding quicker than anyone anticipated. That's where we are now. But we have to be very careful, Purple Power, and watch and ensure that nothing surprises us. I have prepared you for over 1 week that Friday's number could not shock us. If it had shocked us, stimulus checks would have been in jeopardy. It did not shock us. What was the concern? The concern was last Friday's number would be too high and that ultimately it would show full recovery or close to full recovery of the economy by the time the vote for the stimulus checks occurs. Not a concern anymore. The number came in the reverse, the antithesis. But we still have to watch other indicators because 2 months, something could still happen in 2 months. And ultimately, that's what's going on this week. We're going to be looking at the CPI number, then the PPI number will be released. But also, every week we watch corporate earnings because that's how we do it on this channel. We're not in a bubble and we're not in a genie's bottle. Genie's bottle. Monday, corporate earnings are reported from Tyson, Marriott, and Simon Properties. Marriott is the one to watch because we're going to see whether reopening the country has caused new business travel or only leisure travel. You want to see business travel. If you don't, that could be a concern. Vizio reports corporate earnings on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll see whether food services are picking up with Wendy's. And Thursday, we're going to see a little bit more about the reopening play with Disney, as Disney Plus, a streaming service, is expected to surge its numbers. But ultimately, if Disney Plus comes in weaker than anticipated, it may mean that people are going out more than anticipated. DoorDash is also one of those plays, and Alibaba, of course, is the online retailer. Meantime, what's important to know is that the White House has remained in a messaging quandary for over a few weeks. The messaging quandary has, I need to speak with other people on the other side about the forced stimulus. Here's what you need to expect for the following week. I need to give you sort of a roadmap of what I expect to hear from the White House. First, you'll likely hear the White House say they're still having bipartisan negotiations. Do not have that as cause of alarm for you whatsoever. I would expect that line of chatter, whether it's truthful or not truthful, whether it's embellished or not embellished, to be done to the very last minute. Because this is going to be the Republican talking point for the midterm elections, that this president doesn't do anything bipartisan, everything is recon after recon, which it is. I mean, it is recon after recon. So they are going to try to look like a person who is as bipartisan as possible. That's why he's pushing back by making it look bipartisan. Second, the president on Friday showed us that he is not in tune as to why economic numbers are what they are. And that ultimately, we don't care. All we care about is that he uses it for a purpose that helps us. And he did. His purpose was the number is bad, which it was bad. And I need to use that number to push for fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus, which he did. And that's simple. That is a simple messaging. Finally, what's important to understand is that ultimately there is one major issue which you have heard me say from 2020 to the present. Keep stimulus front page. Keep stimulus on the front page of news. Don't push it to the back page of the newspaper, because if it does, people forget about it. Ultimately, along the way, you have to keep messaging important and keep messaging positive and keep messaging focused. Because remember, the people who are putting the stimulus checks in there are not the press secretary of the White House, are not the Republicans, are not the White House, are not the White House's economic advisor. They're not putting the stimulus checks in there. The people putting them in there are the House progressives who are writing the bill and the Senate Democrats and progressives who are doing the vote-a-rama. And ultimately, I do anticipate going into the next 60 days that we will have moments of Temple of Doomish from 2020, where someone who is not involved with getting you the stimulus check is going to say, you're not getting a stimulus check. I fully expect that. The press secretary has nothing to do with you getting a stimulus check. The White House has nothing to do with you getting a stimulus check. The Republicans have nothing to do with you to get a stimulus check. And that ultimately, I fully expect that someone who has nothing to do with the situation, let's say like Roy Blount, Republican out of Missouri, will come out and say, I don't think you should have a stimulus check. Well, who cares what you say? You're retiring and you're a Republican. You're not even voting for it. So I don't really care what you have to say. So I want you to be able to hear the news, understand the news, even before I go on camera, so you can digest and understand that person is not significant to the situation. What is significant to the situation is that the president keeps the Democratic leadership in agreement, that ultimately the Democratic leadership that wants things continues to do things as a group, which they have, and that ultimately they get this done. Remember, July is a vacation, so you want them not to leave in July and not take care of you. And with that, thank you for taking care of your mom. Thank you for always being kind with this family. And guess what? I'll be back with you with more programming overnight. You're going to see some new stuff overnight tonight. You're going to see a throwback video from LALATE. Yes, a throwback video from LALATE. You're going to see a live chart of Dogecoin, presumably, overnight with a live chat. So you can jump in the live chat, put your feet up, sip a glass of wine, and watch the activity of a very important cryptocurrency currently, and jump into the live chat, chat around, enjoy some music on loop. And you'll also see some overnight LA programming on Stimulus, as always. Then you'll see me tomorrow morning on Early Mornings LA. And you'll also see a big new tape show tonight about the latest developments in cryptocurrency. So thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Mother's Day. And with that, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Let's do it. 3,000 likes. Help these videos go to #1. Because we're not going to the moon. We're just staying here for now. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful Mother's Day. If you didn't go to the moon with your mother, there's always next year. There's always next year. Just get that Dogecoin ready and go to the moon. And with that, have a beautiful day.